The digital divide in South Africa is staggering, with less than 5 million people having access to the internet at home. The South African government is determined to bridge this divide by providing broadband infrastructure and utilizing wireless technologies to overcome the high costs of fixed-line networks.
There are three massive impacts from the internet which we take for granted today, but which are not necessarily being realized in low-income communities. One is economic development. For every 10% of broadband access, you get 1.3% growth in GDP. Two is education. You know, kids can't do their homework online, they can't find the curriculum material online, they can't find teachers online. All of that stuff is there, it's on the internet. And lastly, just basic access to information. Making better decisions, being able to email your CV, being able to receive information about job vacancies. The internet is a key to empowering people, and the real important factor in the whole mission is to make it free.
The City of Cape Town is in the process of rolling out a R1.3 billion broadband development project targeting low-income communities in the region. The initial focus was to reduce telecommunication costs while improving the availability of high-speed converged services to municipal facilities. But now the excess capacity of the networks has been made available to several internet service providers.
Many of the lesser advantaged areas have been deprived because they're not commercially attractive in the same way that the business centres are, or the more affluent areas. But because the city has its premises in these locations, we've gone there for our own needs, but we now have this excess capacity. And what we're doing is we're making that excess capacity available to independent service providers to then offer these services, and with the competition, decreasing costs to end users in these lesser privileged areas.
The cost to us as a service provider have obviously been reduced as well. There are massive costs in setting up the infrastructure to be able to manage and run a fibre optic network regionally, but you can offset those across longer time frames and things. And I think this is a unique opportunity the City of Cape Town's kind of presented to ISPs. There are a number of ISPs that are all going after a bit of a land grab now to sign up customers, and I think that's been good for consumers. Prices are going to come down with that sort of competition.
While competition among ISPs may reduce the cost for the end user, it won't make the service free, which is the key objective of Project Isizwe, a non-profit initiative establishing free Wi-Fi in public spaces for poor communities. The pilot projects are currently underway in Stellenbosch and the city of Tshwane.
City of Tshwane is an unbelievable project. We started with capacity for 25,000 people in November 2013. We will have, by the end of this month, capacity for 400,000 people. By the end of this year, we'll have capacity for 1 million people, and by the end of next year, we'll have capacity for 3 million people. That is an incredible project. That's not small scale, a city park, or PR for some street. It's not PR. It's massive, large scale infrastructure for the poor, and it's working.
Project Isizwe believes that internet access can play a major role in improving health and education outcomes. The initiative uses technologies that make it affordable for municipalities to fund the rollout of free Wi-Fi in disadvantaged communities.
We're rolling out a solution that's R1 per gig. R1 per gig is 1,000 times cheaper than the 3G option, so no one can argue that's not frugal. That's a frugal telco network. It's not going to carry phone calls, but it's going to carry your internet traffic, and that's something which I think, in my opinion, the government can justify subsidising.
I really do believe that there is the potential here for another Mark Shuttleworth or South African Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg to actually come out of these areas where people know what the needs of the community are able to use technology to address some very real needs. By making the infrastructure available, I think we're going to unleash untold economic benefit.
The City of Cape Town has partnered with the Western Cape Government and the State IT Agency to include public hospitals, schools, police stations and other government departments on the network. By opening the information highway to less advantaged communities, the Mother City aims to promote an inclusive city of equal opportunity.